Oh, welcome. Come in. Have a seat. I'm glad you're here today because we on the PetPet Park Rebuild team have lots of stuff to show you. I know it's cold outside, so I whipped up a drink for you. How are you doing? Good? Do you like the drink? I'm glad to hear that. We hope you're having a great winter this year. Anyway, since it's been so long, this is likely going to be our biggest update video yet. So we wanted to make it special by hosting it in the cabin. So please, relax on the couch and get ready for the latest update video. We also have a surprise for you later that I'm sure you'll love. Before we start though, here's the obligatory reminder that we have applications open. We're always looking for more programmers who know Unity and C# and artists who can do vector work, but we also want general assistants who can help with less specific stuff. Both the general and programmer applications will be linked in the description, so please check them out if you feel like you'd be a good fit for the team. We're especially looking for people with a strong sense of initiative, people who aren't afraid to advocate for themselves or are willing to take the first step forward on something that needs to be done. That kind of trait is really important in a volunteer project. Anyway, let's not waste any more time and let's jump right on in. In the past several months, early 2025, we've added a bunch of new team members, 5 to be exact. 3 programmers, 1 artist, and 1 general assistant. So let's give them a warm welcome. We have Tay, Mac, Joy, Redfang, and Annika. Let's go in order of each member and what they've worked on, starting with Tay. Tay's one of our latest artists and has been doing wonderful at fixing a lot of the wonky PetPet color bottle pieces, helping Samegrave with the tutorial shirts, organizing and adding to our item spreadsheet, keeping track of tasks, and writing documentation for something we'll get into later. On to the programmers, we have Mac. They're currently working on Shop UI for front-end work by recreating UIs for shops, and also assisting with the color bottles. Another thing Mac's done before even joining the team was creating this prototype of cardcasters. Most of the groundwork is there, it just needs assets placed and have it integrated into the main game, and maybe a little refactoring. It's really cool to see Mac make this completely on their own, and it really shows their passion towards the game. So please give Mac a warm welcome to the team. Another programmer hard at work on minigames, Joy, is working on recreating PetPet Boogie. He's made great progress so far, just that he's currently trying to figure out what more obscure mechanics in the minigame, like Charm, do, but most of the framework is there besides displaying the player's PetPet. Redfang started work on the Puka Time Smoothie minigame, where they gathered assets, set up a repository for the minigame's code, and worked with Nicoto to compile sprites. Here's a clip of it real quick for you. And finally, Annika, our latest general help member who's done great work on finding item names and descriptions, quest information, helping out other members with finding specific information about the game, and more. Each member has been working on important things when they have free time, and we're glad to have them. Now on to some other minor updates with the other developers. Samegrave and one of our new artists, Tay, finished the tutorial shirts and their thumbnails. We now have all the shirts done and ready to be put in the game. Here's what they look like in the shop. Doesn't it bring a tear to your eye? In fact, we have a little surprise I'll reveal in a bit. We have who worked on the inventory system for players, which Nicoto has then taken and integrated into the main game. Here's some screenshots and footage of that. Nicoto was tasked with updating Meter Ball a bit and adjust to make its physics closer to the original game, and he provided a clip of what that looks like. Since last time, Liddy's adjusted to working on the game and has been hard at work at developing the NPC dialogue system and recreating the front-end UI for it. Liddy's also continuing work on the quest system bit by bit, with Nicoto helping her on some parts. Alright, like last time, the end segment of this video is dedicated to the amazing work Nicoto's done on the game. There's a lot to cover because some of this stuff Nicoto's been cooking up has been in the works for an entire year now. So what has our friend been up to? So first thing up is a long story, so I'll try to keep it short. In one of our previous videos, we showed off Uniswift's ability to swap out color bottles with a Dipney, but as we worked to implement clothes and the ability to swap them out, it became clear that Uniswift in the old code it was made of just wasn't going to suit our needs regarding the wireframe. Thus, we had to think of a solution, and that solution is something Nicoto's been working on since May of last year, and we call it the AVAS or Affine Vertex Animation System. Basically, Nicoto had to find a way to parse Flash files and essentially build a new animation system from scratch to fit our needs. How it does this is by basically using the same math Adobe Flash does, all while using nonlinear affine transformation matrices to transform vertices to the right position, skew, angle, and size for a given asset. I am so sorry if that sounded like a bunch of math jargon, but it is really complex, but just know that it basically perfectly translates Flash animations into Unity.
In this video, I will be
How did this get in
exactly
here?
what I do
I didn't
to
put this in
render
the
PetPet
video.
animations with a
How did he...
shader animation system.
Hold on,
But first,
let me...
we need to talk about parallel...
Oh, hold on, I think I found
on.
it. Anyway, as I was saying, this process was iterative, as earlier versions of the AVAS, just known as the VAS, simply lacked features needed to get transformations to be fully accurate. The VAS required the manual sizing and placing of parts if we wanted to add other species, and it was also incapable of doing non-linear transformations. In short, it did not mimic how Adobe Flash parses its animations. As such, the VAS was considered critically flawed in that it was best to try again. To give some examples, here's a clip of Nicoto showing off individual part scaling with a dipney. And even if we did do that for all of the pets, we'd never get them fully one-to-one. If we wanted to add new species, we'd have to manually shift and scale each part to fit properly. Otherwise, you'd get something like this. Nicoto affectionately refers to this as a deer knee. In contrast, the AVAS is as easy as dragging and dropping shapes into Unity, and if named right, the parts automatically get swapped out, all while doing this accurately because it uses the exact same math as Adobe Flash. In terms of tweaks, the only things that need to be changed are unique sclera, or eye parts for certain color bottles, or effects on some color bottles like sparkles or patterns. Another benefit is that the AVAS runs better than the VAS due to making further optimizations to how vertex animations are computed, as you can see from this little performance test Nicoto ran. Additionally, the AVAS can be applied to general Flash animations and not just the player model. So how did creating the AVAS go? Well, against Nicoto's own projected odds, it worked. Besides some minor additions like alpha channels, layer changes, and some further optimizations, Nicoto managed to create the system over the course of about a year. What does this do for us? Well, we can implement clothes with ease into the item database, import color bottles really quickly, and create the other PetPet species using other systems Nicoto made and store them in the database. In fact, we have some wonderful examples to show you today. Nicoto's rallied to get part of the team to help him with readying color bottles for importing, and the team's made significant progress. Yes, the entire color bottle, animations, and all. In this test scene, we can easily flip between species, color bottle, and animation. This even works for more complex color bottles like the lava color bottle. So far, we have all the color bottles sitting in Unity with their item tables populated, so all that needs to be done is for the color bottles to be plugged in and tested. So remember when I mentioned saving something for later regarding the shirts? Well, now it's time. Because of the AVAS, we can show off pets wearing these brand new shirts and other clothing items. Don't they look stunning? We're now to the big surprise I mentioned at the start of the video. I have a very exciting recording to show you, and it's a lot to take in, so I'm just going to play it, then explain it. So I need to preface that this clip was recorded back in September. By September, I mean September 2024. I am terribly sorry the progress video took this long to make, but I hope it was worth it. So this was before the color bottle forge and before we started tweaking and cleaning up the models, so please keep that in mind. Anyway, let's go over each thing one by one. So first thing we see are two different pets in the same area, two different species at that. Not just that, but we can see both of them chatting with each other, with each sending messages before the other finished typing. If you haven't already guessed, this is two players connected to a server, two different players on different machines, unlike last time when it was multiple instances hosted on Nicoto's computer. The Dipney is Luigi and the Pnixie is Nicoto, if you were curious. Secondly, we also see Nicoto wearing some clothes. Yes, his Pnixie is wearing the red collar and red paper hat. Yes, the hat is off, Nicoto fixes later. Then, we see Luigi open up the closet. Yep, the closet's been made, and is almost fully functional. In terms of code, it's just missing the drag and drop feature and the save button closing the menu out, but you can see Luigi in the clip not only equip clothes, but also remove them. Those changes are saved, and Nicoto can even see the Dipney change after clicking the save button, as we can see Nicoto remove his Pnixie's items, and that change shows up on Luigi's end. So, those are some of the most important features implemented, but hold on, you thought that was it? Nope. We still have more to show you. Besides the AVAS, Nicoto's also been working very hard on finishing the tutorial. To commemorate the tutorial sequence finally being finished, I'm just going to play the clip in full. Enjoy it! And he has pretty much everything finished up in terms of the main parts. At the time of writing, all that's left is the sign-up screen. Another thing Nicoto's worked on is the quest system. You can see in this clip that Nicoto opens up his quest menu, and you can even see the tutorial quest added with its associated rewards, task, and even start date. Canine viewers might have also noticed in this clip that Nicoto also has some park points and even some neocache on his player, but those amounts are definitely not standard. They're like that for testing purposes because Nicoto just sticks with using the same amount to go through the tutorial over and over to test things, and he doesn't want to run out of park points to buy the tutorial shirts. Oh, but Nicoto's not done yet, as thanks to him, we also have a working level system. Nicoto's programmed the whole parkle and EXP system, and you can see his level go up when he collects the tutorial parkle. The level requirements were sourced from Jelly Neo besides the last two levels, which we just estimated based on the trends the previous few levels had. Believe it or not, there's not a solid defined formula for level requirements, especially for the later levels. Also puts into perspective how difficult it was to reach the higher levels when you remember parkles only give 5 EXP each. Nicoto also programmed the parkles to appear randomly across the map, just like the original game did. And last, but certainly not least, Nicoto noticed some odd XML files in the NeoTruth dump, and through them, he figured out that these XML files are basically text versions of the tile layout for each of the maps. He then figured he could translate this data into Unity and use it to make a system that automatically places the map pieces for us. And the last time Nicoto worked on it, he was able to get the background pieces to automatically be placed along with tile maps for the skins assets. He doesn't currently have the time right now, but Nicoto was also interested in the idea of automating placing skins assets and sizing them. It's wonderful to see the amount of progress the project has made since our last video, and I for one am super happy to see that the tutorial is almost complete. There's still plenty to do, but a lot of the core foundations of the game are getting filled in, and it'll only be a matter of time until we can start mass implementing stuff like the maps. And we're even already doing it with color bottles thanks to the AVAS. Once again, we can't express enough how amazing and patient all of you are with this project. We know it can be hard to go a while without hearing any updates, but we promise you, we are working on the project. More updates can come out quicker if we had more hands on deck, so I'd like to mention the general and programmer applications again. Please check them out if you or anyone you know is interested in helping out with the project, whether it be with Unity coding, art assets, or general tasks like spreadsheet work, part adjusting for the pets, researching stuff for artists and programmers, and more. That's all we have for now, and we can't guarantee when the next update video will be out, but stay tuned. If you'd like to have more direct interaction with the developers and possible sneak peeks, check out our Discord server in the description below. The Discord is filled with really friendly and talented people, and we're so grateful to have a community like this one. Anyway, thanks for watching, and stay warm out there.